Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. Joining me today is my co host, Tim Morse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another glorious episode of the Codex podcast. I am Tim. On this side of me is the immortal Sonny Kruger.
Everyone, today, as you notice, Jamie Wojcik is not here. We were having a bit of conflicting schedules. As you know, this is not, as much as we love the Codex podcast / the Codex station, this is not where we make money. We don't do this for money. We all do this for the love of comic books. And we all have other jobs. And this week, our jobs conflicted with our schedules, and we discussed it, and we eventually came to the decision that today, on Thursday, it would be me and Tim doing this episode. So next week should be back to normal, and the three of us again.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. But today, we're going to have some fun, too. We will be reviewing X-Men Annual 11, Lost in the Funhouse.
That's right.
We have quite a bit of comic book news. I will start us off with the rundown. We have Our Works. We have another round of Do You Know? And today we are going back into the Codex Vault and we're having another From the Vault. And in our From the Vault, we'll be going over Wizard Magazine.
Oh, that's not Wizard.
That's not Wizard. That's Hero. Okay. Well, last week, in a pre-show, Tim was telling us a story about the Codex Station's Wes, who had a very unfortunate accident of leaving comic books in the back of his truck.
Yeah.
That got rained on. And I was telling Tim, if they happened to me, I'd be vomiting and swearing. So be careful. Watch out for your comic books, everybody. Last week, we went over God Country, and the F-lister was the Hypno Hustler. You can always check out old episodes of Codex podcast on YouTube. And now we get back to today. Our news today. I will start us off with our comic book news with the rundown.
Yeah.
And to start us off, we have news about Free Comic Book Day, and that will be on May 6th. And some of the titles that Marvel will be releasing on Free Comic Book Day is Avengers X-Men #1, and that will start off the story arc of Fall of X. We have Spider-Man Venom #1, and we will have Marvel Voices #1. Those are some of the issues that will be coming out on May 6th for Free Comic Book Day. We heard about Captain America Cold War, a new story arc for Captain America that will be starting in April. And those will start with Captain America Sentinel of Liberty #11. We'll have the prelude, and that will come out April 5th. Then 1 week later, on April 12th, Captain America Cold War Alpha 1 will start off with part 1 of Cold War. 2 weeks after that, on April 26th, will be Captain America Sentinel of Liberty issue #12, we'll take on, which will be part 2. So that should be an interesting story starting in April.
They are going full steam ahead on that, aren't they?
Yes, 3 issues in April. So
wow.
Yeah, it could be. You can get right on it right away, and you got 3 issues, or you could easily fall behind. So if you want that, I suggest getting it, or you're gonna fall behind in the Cold War story.
Oh my God!
Pretty fast.
Cold day in comic book hell.
Yeah. Yeah, in that story, we'll see. Both Captain America's, going head to head, having a bit of conflict with each other.
Yeah,
it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen one of these days. With Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. But also, speaking of some Marvel news, Angela Bassett won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress for her role as Queen Ramonda in Wakanda Forever, and now that makes her the first actor, anyone to win an acting award in the Golden Globes for any MCU movie. She's also
very well deserved.
Yeah, very well. She is an amazing actress. She, like I said, she's the first person from Marvel to win an acting award. She's the first black actress or black actor from any of the superhero movies to win an award. She's the first female actress in any of the superhero movies to win an award for acting in a superhero movie. So,
now,
congrats to her.
Yeah, definitely. 110%. Now, Sonny, you know that the Golden Globes are the precursor to the Oscars, right?
Yep, so there's a good chance.
Yeah, I hope so. Man, have you seen Wakanda Forever?
Not yet, because I know she's a great actress because I've seen many things, but Wakanda Forever is set to come on Disney Plus next month in
Yeah.
February. So I'm like,
Her performance in that movie is, bar none, some of the best acting I have ever seen. She is fantastic.
oh, I do gotta. Yeah, well, definitely, I wanted to see it before now. I'll make sure to definitely pay more attention to her
Yeah.
performance. Yeah, in 30 years ago, in 1993, Angela Bassett won Best Actress for her role of playing Tina Turner in the movie "What's Love Got to Do with It."
Oh, hey, right on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was great, and her performance was great. So, I think the only surprising thing to me is that it's taken her this long to be given another award.
Well, it's 30 years too long.
And speaking of 30 years ago, Power Rangers Once and Always is set to come on Netflix April 19th, and that is set to be the 30th anniversary. And many of the characters coming back for this special,
Yeah.
like David Yost is Billy, Walter Emmanuel Jones is Zach, and we'll be seeing many other characters too. I saw in a video, Adam is back, Rocky, Aisha, Catherine. So many of the characters are coming back for this Power Rangers 30th anniversary reunion. So that
Yeah.
is Power Rangers Once and Always. And then Tim, this one will take a little bit longer to go through the rundown. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna pass it to you. There's a lot of big updates with D&D, with Dungeons and Dragons. So tell me about it,
Yeah.
Tim.
So if you guys have been paying any sort of attention to the collectible card game world or tabletop RPGs or even Hasbro in general, you know that it is a big cluster truck of a mess. It's just horrible. Hasbro stocks have plummeted. I think the last I saw was like they dropped 40% from the previous year. And it's all because of their mishandling of Wizards of the Coast, which owns Magic the Gathering, the collectible card game, and Dungeons and Dragons, the world's most famous tabletop role playing game. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons nearly every week since I was 13, with minor breaks here and there. I've got a great group of guys that I play with every Monday, and we do epic stories and epic adventures, and it is just a hell of a lot of fun. If you are not role playing, I strongly recommend you get uncomfortable and play. But yeah, so there's this thing with Dungeons and Dragons, and it's called the Open Game License. And basically, what the Open Game License was it gave protection to properties that were created using Dungeons and Dragons material. So like everybody knows what Critical Role is. And if you don't, it's a group of people that do what everybody else does with Dungeons and Dragons, and they role play, but they do it live on Twitch, and they're part of Geek and Sundry and things like that. And they have an animated show about their adventures called The Legend of Vox Machina, and it's on Amazon. And season 2 is already out or is coming out. Highly recommend it, guys. Check it out. Very, very good stuff. Super high fantasy. But the thing is with the OGL license, the Open Game License, with the original one, which we're going to call 1.0, the way it was crafted and created gave companies like Critical Role and Pathfinder, which their original property was created using the basis of Dungeons and Dragons. It gave companies like that and people like that the ability to own their creations. So, in essence, their worlds were created using Dungeons and Dragons material, but it is an original property, it is an original creation, and it belongs to them. And the whole thing was with that, with the original Open Game License, was those things were supposed to be protected. So now, what Hasbro has been doing, Wizards of the Coast, which is owned by Hasbro, is they are in essence changing the Open Game License to version 1.2. And in that, it has received a massive, massive amount of fan backlash, like so huge that the company that owns Pathfinder is creating their own version of the OGL to give creators very safe place to go and use their original creations. But what Hasbro's been trying to do is nickel and dime and milk the money out of the people that are their Atlas, basically, holding the worlds of D&D up on their shoulders, trying to take more money than is deserved from them, and going after royalties and licensing and things like that. And it is just an entire convoluted mess that would take 3 podcasts to go over all this information. But to make a long story short, Kyle Brink, the executive producer of Dungeons and Dragons, has come out with a letter, and this came out a day ago, and you can find this on dndbeyond.com, and it's right there. It's just called A Working Conversation About the Open Game License, where he starts to talk about changes and revisions to what they originally wanted to do. And you can thank people that work in the company for leaking the information out to the public. Otherwise, this would have gone in without zero feedback from anybody, and people would have rightly been pissed to not want to participate with Dungeons and Dragons, support the company, or anything like that. But now, the executive producer of D&D, he is trying to make things right. And I give credit where credit is due, because that was the thing that should have been done in the beginning, is companies like Critical Role and Pathfinder and other properties like that have their own original creations, even though they were based off of D&D, should be involved in that conversation, and they should be able to give feedback and input, so that way people like me and you don't get screwed over. And Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro has always been pushing, like, we want to make sure to go after hateful content and things like that, and rightfully so. Dungeons and Dragons, role playing in general, should be a space where anybody should be able to come in and feel welcome, and be able to spread their wings, so to speak, to learn and to gain experience and to be the best role player they can be. Gives you an opportunity to be something that you cannot be in real life. You obviously can't be a dragonborn, can't be a tiefling, can't be an elf, can't be a super duper wizard warrior, but you can in D&D.
You technically get a surgery to have your ears like elves. So.
There you go. But the whole thing is what shouldn't have been a massive disaster has turned into a financial crisis for Hasbro's biggest cash cow. People en masse have been leaving dndbeyond.com, canceling their subscriptions, canceling things like that, leaving Magic the Gathering. That's a whole other can of worms on its own. I'm holding out, though, because I've been playing for so long. I would hate to just drop it. It doesn't affect me financially or personally at this moment in time, but I am definitely keeping a big eye on what in the heck is going on. So if you want to give feedback or anything like this on the Open Game License version 1.2, you do have the opportunity to do that. And you can go to dndbeyond.com and voice your opinion, which I highly recommend you do. But do it in a professional manner. Don't be a jerk, because the minute you turn into a jerk, you lose all credence to any argument that you have. Tell them why you feel the way that you do, but be professional, and let them know what you think they could do to make things better. There's that in a nutshell.
Even that could kind of lead to some to some things. If you tell me, what you can do, you can take all your stuff and you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, people should definitely have the rights, especially if you're making characters, because they are original, So
well, here's an example: Dragons and Warriors, right? That is based off of D&D, right? The whole essence of that was created using Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition. Now, the original creation that we made for a tabletop game had nothing to do with D&D mechanics or anything like that, but all the stories that I've been doing for the past 10 years are all in Dungeons and Dragons from 2nd edition all the way up to 5e. For example, if that were to ever go anywhere and become an intellectual property, all of a sudden Wizards of the Coast could come at me and be like, you owe us 20%. Why? Because you're using D&D stuff. So give it up. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what Tim's talking about, Dragons and Wars is Tim's original story.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to check it out, we've got the decoding panels episode for it on right here on the Codex station. It's at 53 views right now. If it gets to 100, then I will start working on some comic book issues that I already have outlines for.
To get on it, check that out. I want to see it. I want to hear when we say our works. I want you to say, Sonny, I'm working on a story, working on some issues.
There you go.
We'll be looking forward to that, and hopefully we have updates soon on that. So let's get that video, the decoding panels episode.
47 more views. 47 people. If you know 47 people, let them know, hey, watch this. It's only 8 minutes. They can spare 8 minutes.
Yeah, good quick one. Good quick. Hey man, it's a good story too.
Yep, there you go.
Well, exciting. Speaking of our works, I think we could say that wraps up the comic news of the day. We went over it quite a bit. And we were talking about decoding panels. For me, my story, I have a series about a series.
Yes.
On the pre-show, we were talking about how, still working on episode 2, maybe within the next 2 months. I'm hoping to release episode 2, An Idea to Live For. But for now, I'm still collecting a few of those awards for the pilot. And recently the series got Best Comedy from the Frida Film Festival. So always
that's great.
Appreciative to everybody, but we all worked in it together. So as much as I may say we did it our story.
It's like anybody in a band. It's my band. There's 5 people that say it's my band. Whose band is it? Our band, but it's my band.
Yeah, and for everybody, all of us, over somewhere around 40 to 50 of us who all worked in that pilot, we won Best Comedy.
Good
job to all of us. That includes you, Tim. Don't think I forgot you. Buck was watching some TV.
So you're going to send me a PDF of the award then that I can show people?
If you want, you can.
Yes, please. I'll take that.
To.
I would love to have my very own PDF award. And when people are like, what the hell is that? I'm in that.
I won. Yeah, we won the Frida Film Festival for Best Comedy. Yeah. Don't you see Frida in the picture, the outline of her? Right. But that's not all I've been up to. I finally got around to making a TikTok, and it's the same as my Wattpad, and that is Sono the Writer. And in case you don't remember, the Codex Station is also on TikTok and constantly having new videos every day. We get polls, do you know questions. There was a Let's Talk on there a while ago. There hasn't been a new one, but there's so many great things that is on our TikTok.
So much stuff's going on. The Let's Talks were great. I was doing the scripts for those. Real life work kind of got in the way of that, and we're kind of in the busy season right now. But when things slow down, maybe I'll write some more scripts out for Let's Talk About.
Cool. And and also too, more stuff on the Codex Station, not just TikToks, but we're everywhere. Like you said, Facebook, Twitch.
Oh yeah,
everywhere. To find us. We do all that stuff more at the end. But even too, I had a mail call not too long ago, and there was 2 that I felt I went by a little too fast.
Was this your Christmas mail call?
Yes, and one of those that I got was this one, and it was the Marvel 2-in-1 annual. And I felt I skipped it too fast, but yeah.
So wait a minute. Hold that back up. That's the Thing, Colossus, Thor, Hulk, Namor, and Sasquatch. Is that right?
Yep. And Wonder Man is somewhere in there. Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yes, and they
That's wonderful.
They fight a character named the Champion, and it is good, fun, quick. And then another one I felt I went kind of fast on was the new Defenders, because it kind of looks like they're fighting multiple characters from the X-Men. You can see Cannonball, and
Defenders from the 80s, can't go wrong.
Yeah, so those are a couple I felt I went a little fast. I'm like, I'm working on it. I'm trying to be. I didn't want to just do this the whole time, so this time I focused on the comic.
There
And
you
I was like,
go.
I went too fast. But yeah, so I'll be having more mail calls out there soon. But everybody was working on. There's so many things that the
Yeah.
Codex Station is putting out there for everybody. Even to like we were talking earlier. We were saying how there was a review. There's
Mhm.
always new reviews, and then even to review, even some of the reviews from the Codex podcast are being
Yeah.
released in case you just want to check out how our reviews went.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan Kelly has been killing it with the reviews. Jamie has got a stack of them in his inbox
Yeah.
that he has to get to work on. So good job, Dan. Way to go. I know Sal is working on more. Plus, he's got his own channel that he does, Sal's Comic Corner, I believe, right? Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I don't know. Sal will let me know. He'll be like, Tim, that's wrong. That's very wrong. I don't have the cue cards.
He had a
But
big
anyway,
mail call today. He was
yeah,
telling us about. Yeah.
yeah, 13 pounds or 33 pounds or something like that. It was huge. But no, Wes is the newest member of the Codex Station. Welcome aboard, Wes. It's a lot of fun.
Welcome
You've
aboard,
already,
Wes.
yeah, you've been here a couple times already. Now you're going to get to be here for a lot more. Like Jamie said last week, more episodes of programs already going on are going to be coming out, and new episodes of old programs are going to be making their return.
Nice. Yeah. And I saw After Dark this past weekend. It was it. You guys had After Dark. You guys had
Yeah.
Town Character of the Week, and that was focused on Kyle Rayner. And I saw on there, Tim, Jamie was giving me a bit of trouble talking about XO Man of War.
Oh, speaking of that, so yeah, you remember the show we used that is on Codex Station called Decoding Panels, right? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what the script I'm working on right now for Decoding Panels is?
I'm gonna guess XO Man of War now.
It absolutely is. So that'll be the first one I hand to Jamie. Welcome back to Decoding Panels, sir. Here you go. Here's the issue you hated.
Oh man, it's got to be a fun one.
Oh, it's fun to rework the script, trying to rework it in such a way that we don't get sued. But it looks good so far. I think I'm 4 pages in right
Man,
now. But when
it only
it'll
gets
be nice.
better. The craziness, the hard skin, I think he's one of those men who likes men. The potions.
Should we have Jamie do the voiceover for it instead of me?
And we might even have to all jump in on this one. We may have to all jump in on that one.
I'm down 100%. Let's do it.
Send me any lines and I will get on that.
Oh my god. But yeah, lots of cool stuff coming in for the Codex Station, guys. Don't forget, if you're watching this and you enjoy the long form content that we do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, share this stuff, and comment. It does help the YouTube algorithm gods let them know that we are something that they should be showing everybody. So the more likes, comments, subscribes, and shares that you do for us, it in turn brings more people here so that we can spread the word.
Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said.
Yep.
And with that, we can wrap up our works. And now, something we've both been excited for. We are going back to From the Vault. The last time we had From the Vault on the Codex podcast was in episode 12. We've gone over a year without it. And me and Tim have decided that for today's episode, we are bringing back From the Vault. in our From the Vault, we are bringing out Wizard Magazine.
I've got a small stack here.
I got number 20 here from April 1993 when I turned 3. And then another issue right here.
Ooh, that Magneto cover. I know the other one you showed was the Max. That Magneto looks great.
Yeah.
What issue number is that?
I'm trying for the issue. This is from 1995.
You can see it on the spine.
Oh, okay. The 51.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, so 51. Tim, you have some Wizard magazines with you?
I do. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 here to show. And then I've got some of these Collector's Library series or the special editions that came out. We'll do the special editions first. So you had the main magazine, Wizard, that Sonny just showed, but every now and then they'd put out these special editions. So the first one I'm going to show is Wizard Press Collector's Library Series Volume 1. This is called The Dark Book. It is a comprehensive look at comic book villains. And who better to have on the cover than Carnage himself?
That's an awesome cover.
Yeah. And this goes all the way through every villain you could possibly think of, reasons for doing it, and then it even gives a poster-sized listing of their tops.
Yeah,
I think it's
this.
like,
I see Penguin. I saw Sinestro,
yeah.
I believe, in there.
Yeah, this is a whole poster. It's top 100. Guess who number 1 is?
Carnage.
Joker.
Okay, not a bad pick.
No, not at all. So there's that. Then we got another one. These ones were cool. They did one for Superman, for the death of Superman. This one they did for X-Men. This is when X-Men turned 30, their 30th anniversary. And these are smaller magazine-sized ones. The other ones were pretty big. Then we have another one they did for the X-Men. This is Wizard Special Edition, just a special publication. I think it was because the movie was coming up. And it was right before the movie came out. So that's
looks like a regular comic.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we've got one more Wizard special publication. This one is for Spider-Man. And that is great John Romita Jr. Spider-Man artwork there. So let me show you the actual Wizards I have. So I have issue number 15. This is with Wetworks, Wiley Sportacio's creation there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do believe this still has the poster in it, which it does. All Wizards used to come with a poster, and they were usually the same thing as the cover. So that is issue 15. Then I have
my poster is here.
Yep, there it is.
At the max, and on the back side.
Well, the posters should be in the center of the book, and it should look exactly like the cover. But yeah,
there's another one somewhere.
Oh, yeah. And then we have Wizard number 19. This is a cool, very cool Wolverine and Sabretooth cover. Look at that.
Yeah. I love my X-Men stuff. So yeah, that's
cool. Yeah. And you got to remember, man, these magazines back in the day when they came out, these were our trade sheets. These were our dirt sheets. Everything, all the speculation before the internet even had a price guide in it. How much is my Amazing 361 worth? Nexus number 1 through 4, $250 a piece. Oh man. Then we got Wizard number 23. That is a Valiant cover, and it has all the Valiant characters and some Image characters too. Look at that. And this is a trifold.
Maybe you want to move it a little bit. Okay, now I see it.
Yeah. Can't even really tell. But yeah, trifold cover. Has a lot of the indie characters. Has Supreme, Solar, Bloodshot, a bunch of other characters. Got two more. This is when they went more pop culture. Less comics, more pop culture, things of that nature. This is Wizard number 68. You will remember the blue Superman. Yeah. And then we have Wizard number 71. And this is a great Palmiotti Batman and Joker cover.
Cool.
Yeah. And I got one more thing I want to show you. There was another company that was doing magazines at that time that was a competitor to Wizard. You either had a Wizard subscription or you had this subscription, and friends would trade magazines back and forth. The other was Hero Illustrated, and this is Hero Illustrated number 8. Prime from the Malibu universe, now owned by Marvel.
Okay. I remember Prime. Okay. Yeah. See, I didn't know that magazine, the Hero magazine, but I remember Prime.
They didn't have near as many issues as Wizard did, but they were popular for quite a while, and they put a lot more focus on the indie books where Wizard focused on the big three, Marvel, Image, and DC. Hero not only focused on those, but they put more of a focus on smaller companies. Here is issue number 7 That is Jim Lee work
I
right
see
there. That's
Grifter in the background. Who
yeah,
else?
and that's Backlash.
Okay. From
Yeah.
Backlash.
And then we have the last one I'll show, and this is issue number 5. And this has a bunch of characters I don't know. I only know one of them, and that is Vampirella right there.
Yeah, and one of the issues I have, there's like, I was going through. There's just so many Vampirella advertisements and pictures, and I'm like, yeah, I have a feeling Vampirella is a lot more popular with men than women.
Oh, I'm sure.
No,
Yeah, Nova with his mullet. This has a really cool Superman poster in it. Not bad. What is this? Hero Illustrated. Send in the comment card. Get your subscription. Yeah. So there's that.
nice. And look who I found when I was looking through the Wizard, the one number 20 with the Max in the cover.
Yeah.
Look, if it isn't that F-lister right there,
Prophet. He wasn't so much of an F-lister then, but he is now.
Jonathan Taylor Prophet. There's so many cool things here with magazines. Also, I liked in this Magneto one. There's randomly a swim a section on a model, and she's just taking pictures. Well,
swinging a sword.
Swinging a sword. There we go. Just randomly, she's not. I don't know what she's has to do with comics. But maybe one day.
Probably nothing.
Yeah. Well, there we go. There's more. We just gotta make sure that the guys are enjoying this. And look at the other side. We see Grifter and Bad Rock.
Oh, wow. One of those characters is still semi-relevant. The other is not.
Yeah. Oh, man. But I definitely wanted to talk about Wizard because it was cool. And also, too, how things have changed nowadays. This was magazines. You go into the store, getting a magazine. And like you said, we didn't have the internet. It was, hey, let's look up. Let's go in this magazine, look how much what this is worth. And
oh, yeah. I mean, I remember getting I had a subscription to Hero. That's what I had. And my other friend Lucas, he had a subscription to Wizard. And we would trade them back and forth, bring them to the lunch table. And oh man, the new Wizard. Oh, the new Hero. Who's going to read it? Well, I got to finish it first and then you guys can read it. But yeah, I mean, everything. Interviews with Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, John Romita Jr., Mark Bagley, all that stuff, all the inside information.
You had to mention Bagley, didn't you?
Of course. Of course. An episode can't go by.
They had also a lot of cool things like lists, like you were mentioning before. They would have like
casting call.
Casting call. There was one of the issues here. It had there's some of the Vampirella. When I mentioned it was constantly
there you go. And they had another cool thing where they would showcase the envelope art that people sent in. There it is.
Dan, that's for you. There's the casting call. Dan, that one is for you because it's the Tick.
Who did they have cast for the Tick? They
had John Tesh.
Really?
Yeah, they did. And they had Terry Hatcher as American Maid. They had Dustin Hoffman as Sewer Urchin.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, the casting call was the Tick. And they also had another section, and it was like, what was interesting too, it's like, who we believe are our top 10 artists of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 10 writers of the month. Cool things
they
like
had
that.
They had their listing of hot comics and things like that, like what everybody was reading. Oh, dude, that was the time to be alive.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid, but I still remember some things. Yeah, I remember sometimes my dad would go on bike rides with my brother. At the time, I was very small, but he would sometimes get magazines. So sometimes they'd come back with this, and I remember me and my brother looking through, and even one of them, I believe it's this one, because this is 95, and there's a picture, and it's showing Marvel versus DC, like it was, was about to happen. And I remember me and him looking like, who would win, Superman or the Hulk? And at the time, we didn't know Lobo, but like Wolverine or this other guy.
Yeah, who's that other guy?
The main man is still pretty cool, but I mean, my pick is still, it'd still be for Wolverine if they had a rematch.
You know the Wizard World Convention, right?
Yeah,
that's what the magazine turned into.
Yeah, so that's
I
was doing some research on that, and then made me think too also a lot like Toy Fair magazine.
And I used to have Toy Fair and Inquest. They were putting out Inquest too, I believe.
Yeah, different, like I said, different days, different time. Be a different
Yeah.
era, the era of magazines when, like I said, people would
Yeah.
subscribe and you'd if you didn't subscribe, you go to the store, let me, hey, that looks like a cool comic or a cool
What and
magazine. Let me get
let's
it.
see here. What was cover price for Hero at this time in November 1993? Hero number 5 cover price was $3.95.
Yes, that's the same for the Wizard one I have from '93.
Really?
Yeah, the one with the
And
max.
what's this one? Number 71. This is from 97. So cover price for this in 1997 was $5.99.
Okay.
That's how much a single comic book issue costs now.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yes, it's English is close to that. If it's something
Yeah.
special, like a longer one, it's more. But yeah, I'm
Yep.
glad we get to. It was so fun going over these old Wizard magazines. You
Yeah.
forget. Also, there was a section where it had fan art.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were really cool.
Yeah. People would send in full on pictures of artwork and stuff. The thing that I liked looking at the most was the envelopes. People
Yeah,
would do that and draw all over the envelopes and send them in, and they'd showcase those. I thought that was really cool.
yeah. That reminds me. My father, a couple years ago he passed away, but there was a time when he was in prison and he used to send letters, from
Yeah,
prison, and he would draw on there like somewhere. I still have them saved. Like one of them has like the Hulk on there. Sometimes just other artwork, but yeah, he would draw on
that's
envelopes.
wonderful.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I love that.
yeah. And then to also another section in there was that they had. I thought it was really cool when people would make their own toys and send in the pictures of that.
Yes, custom figures.
Yes.
That's great. I remember that too. I don't remember specifics, but I know exactly what you're talking about. All we had was Toy Biz figures to mash together and repaint and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was a lot of good nostalgia going over these, and
Yeah.
it's a different times. Even too, I remember my brother was really into wrestling magazines, and he was subscribed, and they also had the same thing like Wizard, where they had a section where it was fan art, being drawn, being sent in. So I'm like,
Yeah.
fun in times, the
They don't do
'90s.
stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, and now you'd have to probably be careful because so many people would probably be looking online to take a picture, like, look at this great drawing I did.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
AI artwork now.
yeah. Look at this artwork of myself.
Yeah, that I
That I
had a
used my
computer
phone,
do.
yeah.
Took from thousands of other pictures on the internet and created this. It's my original creation. I didn't do a thing,
Yeah.
but
Sonny
it's
Kruger.
mine.
Sonny Kruger plus awards plus, the Savage Land plus Mr. Sinister. Man, look at this
Oh my
picture I
god.
drew.
That's wonderful. That's great. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, and, Vampirella is just randomly in the background.
Ah!
For this Wizard magazine, Vampirella is just randomly there, and that
Oh my
model
god.
who was, for some reason, in the picture, she's
Yeah,
just
she's there too, holding that sword.
yeah. Good times, good fun times. Checking going back to the vault.
There you go. I can't wait to come back to the vault. We need to figure out another thing
Yeah,
within the
definitely.
next couple weeks.
Yeah, maybe a toy fair or something. But hey, anybody watching, if you'd like to see more from the vault, put in the comments below, or if you think we should leave codexes from the vault in the vault, let us know that too. But I like it, so I do hope that we get to again have another from the vault another time. Like I said, I'm thinking maybe toy fair or just anything. If anybody wants us to talk about, like I said, a magazine, a
Yeah,
series, a game, a toy, let us know. We love to hear everybody's recommendations.
absolutely. 110%.
Now, Tim, do you know what time it is?
I believe it's time to let everybody know how they can save 20% on comic books.
Yeah, I'd say it's that time.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, even though Jamie's not here, he's here. Check out what he has to say about how you can save 20% store wide on some cool comics.
Everyone, if you're anything like me, you love comics, but you also love a good deal. And our friends over at Heroscornercomics have just the deal for you. From exclusives to back issues, graded slabs, current issues, and even set up a subscription with them. And all you have to do is use the keyword codex at checkout. That's CODEX, and you will save 20% store wide. So don't miss out.
Right
There we
on.
go. His voice, like you said, it's good to hear his voice again, even if it's
He's
in a commercial.
he's not here, but he's here. Heroes Corner Comics, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the website, type in the promo code codex, no hyphen, to save 20% store wide.
That is right. And now that we have shown you the commercial, we showed you how to save some money so you can get yourself some comic books. It is
Mhm.
time for Do You Know?
I got your number today. I'm going to test your X-Men knowledge.
Ooh, all right. Well, let's see. So I mixed it up a bit today. I go first, and it's you. Okay.
Okay, yep. So
Let's
go ahead, Sonny. What do you got for me?
right down to it. Excuse me, I needed to burp there for a moment.
It happens.
Okay, so today we were talking about how Angela Bassett won the award for Best Supporting Actress, and she played Queen Ramonda. So my question for you is, do you know what year did Queen Ramonda first appear in comics?
I am going to say 1972.
Tim, Queen Ramonda first appeared in comics in 1989, and
Of course.
that was in Marvel Comics Presents number 14.
Wow,
You're
I
only
was way
17
off.
years off. Only 17.
Oh my
Like the
god.
Winger song.
Yeah. That song does not do justice in this day and age. You can't listen to it now.
Oh, yeah, you'll be in trouble. I'm
Yep.
just at a concert. I'm just going along with the lyrics.
Swinger, guys, come on. All right.
I saw them on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did they play 17?
Oh, yeah, they had to.
Oh my god. Okay. 60-year-old man singing she's
Oh,
only
oh, yes.
17. Guy, no, I can't do that now. It's not the 80s,
Encore.
buddy.
Encore.
All right. Question number 1, Sonny. Let's see how well you know your X-Men. So, do you know, let's just get right down to it. Do you know what the first issue is Chris Claremont wrote for X-Men?
I will say Uncanny X-Men 94.
All right. That one was too easy, but yes, you got that right. Uncanny X-Men 94 is the answer. It came out in August of 1975.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So now we are on to question number 2.
Mhm.
This one has to do with since my job, since jobs were conflicting this week, I'm like, let me go with something. It goes a little towards our jobs. Okay. They're
Okay.
close to mine. Sometimes I work as a stand-in, sometimes I work as an extra. So this is a question for you. Ready? Tim, do you know, before playing a major character in the MCU, who worked as an extra for 3 seasons on Smallville?
Before playing a major character in the MCU, who worked as a stand-in or
An
as
extra.
as an extra for 3 seasons of Smallville? Tom Holland?
You are incorrect, sir. It is Evangeline Lilly who plays Hope Van Dyne, Wasp.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So
I-
she was an extra on Smallville for the first 3 seasons. Sometimes she was able to be seen a little bit. And recently I was watching Talkville, the podcast that Michael Rosenbaum and Tom
yeah.
Welling do, where they go over each episode of Smallville. And one of them they showed like Evangeline Lilly was there. So I did some research.
Wow.
Yeah, she was for 3 seasons. She was an extra. So it's been inspiring for somebody like me to see that here she was working as an extra and became, she's a huge star now.
So she was in the DC universe before she ever went to Marvel. Ain't
Yeah.
that something? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, an extra in DC, a major character, and even has a couple movies with her character's name in it.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
Marvel. Yep.
All right. So, Sonny, currently you got an easy 1 point. I have a big fat 0 for 2 hard questions. I'm going to give you something a little more difficult now. Let's see if
Okay.
you know. Do you know what 4 characters made their debut in giant size X-Men #1?
Okay, let me see what either debut. I'm going to go with
Mm-hmm.
Nightcrawler,
Okay.
Colossus,
Yeah.
Storm,
Okay.
and Warpath.
3 out of 4.
Now Warpath.
3 out of 4. So Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, that is all correct. Warpath, you are on the right train of thought, but the wrong name. So the name of that character you're thinking of is called Thunderbird.
Thunder. Okay,
There
you're
it
right.
is.
And then
Random Rick.
Thunderbird.
Yeah, you are
Thunderbird
absolutely correct,
dies,
sir.
and then Warpath is the next. Okay.
Yep.
So there we go. Okay.
That is all right. Also, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, for Do You Know, make sure you don't put your answers out until after Sonny or I have given our guesses, so that way we don't look and cheat.
I should have looked.
But yes, Random Rick, you are absolutely correct. It is Thunderbird. So no points for you, Sonny. You only have 1.
Oh, not 1.75.
1.75. Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Well, Tim,
Yeah.
now I may have to change this question because last week you were nice and you gave me and Jamie an easy one, baby. Basically, you
Yeah.
gave us a point. So I
How
said
you
this week
doing?
I will get. That was a tough one to answer, but we got. Okay, so this I said, I'll do you a favor and I'll give you one back. So this
Okay.
question does go. It's basically giving you. You should get this one, and it does go with X-Men. So
Okay.
Tim, all the hype on you. Can you tie me up? Here we go. Tim, the question is, do you know what is the first appearance of the X-Men villain Horde?
That would be Uncanny X-Men Annual number 11. Thank you for the point, sir.
And that is correct. There it is, and there is right behind Tim. That
It's
is correct.
that guy.
Horde's first appearance is in X-Men Annual 11.
It's also his last appearance, too.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
One and only. One and done.
All right, Sonny. I am not going to be as forgiving or nice about giving points away. We are tied right now. So let's see if you can break that tie and win the day. So, X-Men. We're still staying there, but we're going to give it a little bit of a twist. Do you know what issue did the Avengers and the X-Men officially meet for the first time?
Would be X-Men number. I would say X-Men number 7.
So close yet so far away. It is X-Men number 9, and that came out in October 1964. For a bonus no prize, do you know who it was written and drawn by?
I'll just say Jack Kirby.
That is the artist. Do you know who the writer was?
Oh, Stanley.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 0 points for you. Way to go, Sonny.
He gave me more questions.
That is a tie this week on Do You Know? Sonny with 1 easy point, me with a hard point. Wonderful. Way
The
to
hard
go.
point, the Horde. You had an easy question.
How could I have guessed that? I can't see behind me. Well, I mean, I can. I know they're there. Never mind. I'm just making stuff up at this point.
I had like how many questions?
Oh, I love Do You
Wow.
Know? So good.
And if anybody thinks Tim was being very cheap in cheating today, put it in the comments below and make sure
Negative.
he knows. Make sure he knows.
Negative. No cheating allowed.
He was acting a lot like Horde. And not very nice. So with that, we wrap up our Do You Know, and we will move on to our review to talk about that guy Horde, who's very similar to our very own Tim Morse.
I don't know. Those wings that he's got going on and for that hairdo. I mean, I had that like 2 years ago. That's about it.
If I let my hair grow out, I'll get wings like that too.
Sonny, that looked great on you.
Maybe. C2E2's coming up. Maybe cosplay.
I want to see you cosplay as Horde. That has to happen.
The exact outfit.
Yes.
If somebody was willing to set it up for me, I would do it. But it would cost a lot of money, so I'm definitely not going to do it.
There you go.
But okay, for editing purposes, I will reintroduce ourselves so we can get started with this review. And hello, everyone. Welcome to another Codex review. I am Sunny. Today I'm joined by Tim, and today we are reviewing the Uncanny X-Men Annual 11, Lost in the Funhouse. And as usual, Tim will start us off with the credits.
That is right. So, Uncanny X-Men Annual number 11. This wonderful cover that is behind me. Sonny, you have the physical copy right there next to you. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. So, writing for this goes to the ever wonderful Chris Claremont. Artwork goes to Alan Davis. Inks by Paul Neary. Colors by Glynis Oliver. And letters to Tom Orzechowski.
Okay, and I will start us off giving us a little walkthrough of this story before giving my points. So we start the story off. Wolverine is coming home and he is drunk and he is singing, and everybody from the X-Men comes, everyone who's home at the X-Mansion comes out to see him. And also Captain Britain and Megan are visiting, so they are also part of the story as well. And the X-Men comes out, they see Wolverine. Longshot is in these very little speedos. But yeah, Wolverine comes home and Storm even says let him have his time. It's something he's going through by himself. And the reason is that this is the anniversary of when he would have been married to Mariko. So that's why he's having a tough time.
Yeah.
Then the guy behind Tim, Horde, makes his first appearance. He's coming in the house and he's getting every X-Man, I should say, and he's getting them, whether he's grabbing them, putting his hand through the wall, grabbing Longshot, and eventually brings them to another dimension. And yeah, after introducing himself, so the X-Men, they try fighting him and their powers are doing nothing. He even says, you're wasting your time. You can't do anything. You can't, Psylocke, you're not going to get in my mind. Havoc, your powers do nothing to me. Longshot, you're not going to be lucky. I'm the lucky one.
Yeah.
So he says, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get this crystal from this citadel, and you see it is huge, and you see all these statues, and you see one is Skrull, one is a Kree, and he wants them to go in it. So even as they were fighting Horde, Storm is thinking in her mind. She's using her mind, and she is saying, like, okay, there's a reason he doesn't want to go in here. What can we do? And in case anybody doesn't know, this was in 1987. This was when Storm was leading the X-Men with that great mohawk she had.
Oh, yeah. Right there.
There we go.
There, guys.
And before they enter the Citadel, they say, okay, we got to do this basically. Because, yeah, Horde says, I'll destroy your planet. Nothing you can do to stop me. So you will do this. You will go in there and get it for me. And Storm tells Wolverine, hey, this is as good a day to die. This is as good a day to die as any. And she gives her friend Wolverine a kiss on the lips before they go to do
it. It's a little more than a peck.
quite a kiss, yeah, as most friends do with each other.
Sure.
Just give each other a huge kiss on the lips before they go do something dangerous. And they go in, and in this citadel, what it is it is bringing everyone to seeing their fantasy life. And once they start going so into it, their real self is brought into like stone. So each character is seeing something they like as a fantasy. For instance, Captain Britain and Megan see their life being a family, and they obviously they want their life, so they go towards it. But then they're no longer valuable to the team. They can't go forward with the mission ahead of them. And Longshot, since he is young and innocent, he pretty much doesn't have fantasies and wants and desires, so he becomes almost one with the Citadel. But that creates some luck for the X-Men in helping them find the crystal. But each character is pretty much falls into their fantasy, except for we have Wolverine who fights his one off. It's he sees himself as marrying Mariko, and then she's also a little bit more wild, like his lifestyle. But Wolverine fights it off. Storm is also able to fight off. She has a little trouble with it, but she's able to still stay and know what's going on. And then Psylocke turns herself into, she basically rips her skin off to be like a metal robot. Yeah. So then Storm, Horde takes out Psylocke, rips her head off, Wolverine pushes Storm aside. Just go into your fantasy life. I'll take care of this. And so we have Wolverine versus Horde, and Wolverine's going towards the crystal. Horde throws a spear right through his back. He takes Wolverine and he rips out Wolverine's heart, but not as bad as it sounds, because ripping Wolverine's heart out, blood splatters on to the crystal, and it basically makes Wolverine again. And now Wolverine has it, and he takes that crystal right off of Horde's forehead, and Horde dies, never to be seen in comic books again.
Yeah.
But that is not all. Now Wolverine has all of this power. He feels everything. He has all this cosmic power, and even says, "Hey, I wonder if this is how Jean Grey felt when she was the Phoenix." So now Wolverine has a decision: can he stay like that, or will he do the right thing? But that is where we'll stop my walkthrough of this story. If you want to know more, if you want to see it, check it out. X-Men Annual 11.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah. That one I've been holding up multiple times throughout this episode. Tim has it. He has the comic. He has it behind him. I say overall, this is a terrific story. If the artwork goes with it, it's just classic X-Men at the time, and the story itself is just such a great standalone story. I love stories too. I tend to fall for them when it's the characters seeing their fantasy life, and this one, has multiple characters seeing their fantasy life. I thought the action was great. The storytelling, it moves along fast. Love the characters. As you can tell, I'm a huge X-Men fan. And, Wolverine is one of my favorite characters. So I loved seeing Wolverine take center stage. But I did like seeing also, too, Storm and Psylocke's part was big. It was cool seeing Captain Britain with the team. So I thought this was an incredible story. And, it wraps up at the end. A very nice ending from beginning to end. I enjoyed it. I love it. There's only one little thing that stopped me from making it perfect, and it was Rogue's fantasy. Rogue saw herself. She even says, "Oh, I'm a plantation princess." And I think that was the one thing that shows that it was a bit dated for me. And I truly believe that if Rogue was living with the X-Men, living with Storm, I think she'd be very against plantations and anything like that. So that's the one part for me that said I think that's a bit dated. And I think now that part would definitely be changed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one little itty bitty problem I had with it. But other than that, incredible story. I can't recommend it enough. One of my favorite annuals.
Nice.
Tim, I'm glad we went over this. I give the Uncanny X-Men Annual 11 a 9.8 out of 10.
Okay. That's wonderful, Sonny. 9.8.
Tim, I'm excited to hear what you have to say, because I know this one means a lot to you.
Yeah, so guys, I have said this 100,000 times before on many different episodes on the Codex station. This is the first comic book I ever read. Got this in a small bag of comics, brown paper sack. This was in there, Chrome #1, a Phantom issue, Spectre, and a few others that I can't remember. But I do remember this one because this was the one that I sat down and read all the way through, and I was hooked after reading this. I didn't know anything about anybody. I didn't know who Wolverine was, Storm, Captain America, or Captain Britain, I'm sorry, Longshot, Havoc, Rogue, or Megan, Psylocke, any of them. I had no clue who they were. So this was very fresh to me. And the way that Chris Claremont wrote this was perfect in that sense, because you didn't have to know anything about anybody to read this issue from start to finish and get something amazing out of it, right? Which is a wonderfully told story, both written and visually. Alan Davis's artwork, I think, is top notch here. I think it fits very, very well with Claremont's words. He doesn't use a lot of hard edges. It's a lot more rounded and soft. And when he gets into the visual representation of the of each character going through their fantasy, them being exposed, right? Them being vulnerable. I think he does a wonderful job. And even though Rogue's part today wouldn't fly, back then, it wasn't. I don't think it was anything really to worry about. But when she's got her hands pressed against the window, and she's looking through, watching all those people on the ballroom floor and stuff like that, you could see the shift in emotion from panel to panel on Rogue. And even with Captain Britain and Megan, those two guys right there, when they were looking at what their life could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe Dazzler in our part 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just all
Dazzler
the
as well.
different ones. Yeah.
Yep. You could, the change of emotion in the expression from Alan Davis's pencils is wonderful. And don't forget Paul Neary for inks, Glynis Oliver for colors. I mean, because all that stuff together makes it pop. The story, I think, is beautiful from start to finish. It's a story that I come back to multiple times a year. And it's a story that I love to share with people. I think somebody said one time, like with the Longbow Hunters, they will buy all 3 issues and just give them out to people. This is one that I do that with, or I tell people, you got to get this, got to get it. It's only a couple of bucks. You can find it in just about every dollar bin or back issue bin for less than $5. It is worth the pickup. It is worth the read. And from reading it the first time to reading it again today, it still holds up, and this gets a beautifully earned 10 out of 10 from me.
Nice. 10 out of 10 for Tim.
Yeah.
9.8 out of 10 for me. So I think you can all tell that we do love X-Men Annual 11.
Yes.
Lost in the Funhouse. Like Tim said, check it out. Maybe you'll find it at your local comic store. I got it off of eBay. But yeah, this is one I'm very glad I got. I'm very glad we finally got to review this.
Yeah, me too.
Check out X-Men Annual 11. It's a great one.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, it is. And yeah, like we said, it was the first and only appearance of Horde.
Yep, that's right. As badass as he thought he was, he died by the end of the issue. So spoilers, there you go. Find out how.
Yeah, without that without that crystal, he wasn't so tough. And he was they mentioned that he was very, very old. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to find out more about him.
There's always the possibility. But when I get to this for decoding panels, this is one that I'm going to have so much fun with.
Nice.
So much fun.
Yeah, because everything, the whole thing was so good.
Yeah.
No slow moments, and
no.
Everybody had their parts.
Yeah, everybody did. There was equal opportunity for everybody. Everybody got the right amount of screen time.
Yeah, so it is good. And now we say goodbye to the X-Men for right now, and definitely goodbye to Horde. And that's when we say that next week we are scheduled to come back on Tuesday. It should be the 3 of us again.
Okay.
Me, Tim, and Jamie. And we will be reviewing X-Force, Sex and Violence. Hey, Wolverine's in that issue too. So
interesting.
Still more Wolverine. But yeah, it'll be X-Force, Sex and Violence. The F list will be back, and we will be adding Gamecock to the F list.
I'm going to do my due diligence of 0 research before we look at that character.
I'll make sure to do the research. We will let Jamie do his thing, and he will guess. He will come up with the story of that character's background.
That's wonderful. Based on picture alone.
Yeah, quite. Yeah. Well, if it's an F lister, the pictures are always going to be funny and tell their own kind of story. But yeah, that's set to be next week.
Good. I can't wait.
Me neither. And we hope to see you all there next week. Again, I'm Sonny Kruger. This is another episode of the Codex Podcast. Thank you again for tuning in. And I will let this guy wrap it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. If you enjoy this long form content that we are giving to you here today and every day on the Codex Station, be sure to hit the like button, leave us a comment, let us know how you feel, and be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm gods, so that way they know that we are something that needs to be shown to other people. Also, if you want to find out what we're doing on the socials, all you got to do is type in the Codex Station on your favorite social media platform, and that is where we will be. We also have a website. It is called thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Links to all the socials are there. And you can get access to merchandise and even check out everybody involved with the Codex Station and what shows they're on, so you know where to catch your favorite hosts and guest hosts every week. Yeah, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Tim. This guy over here is the immortal Sonny Kruger. This is the Codex Podcast. We are the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.